Okay. All right, so we're doing everything about triangles today. So the first thing I want you to learn is the angle sum theorem. Angle sum theorem. I believe you might have learned this before. I don't know. But the angle sum theorem states that the interior angles of a triangle add up to 180 degrees. The interior angles of a triangle add up to 180 degrees. What does interior mean? Inside. So if I had a triangle, all of these angles, I'm going to just say A, B, and C, all of these angles add up. So angle A plus angle B plus angle C add up to 180 degrees. Do y'all remember ever learning that? Yeah. Okay. So so that was 6th grade? Okay. So all the angles inside a triangle add up to 180 degrees. What we're doing today is, well, what if we're missing one of those angles? How do I find the missing angle? Kind of thing, okay? So all these angles add up to 180 degrees. We're going to figure out, well, how do we find the missing one? So let's look at this example right here. I have 42 degrees, 64 degrees, and then I have x degrees. And I'm trying to figure out what that x degrees is. Do not say it out loud. I just want everyone to think. Okay? If I know that all these angles add up to give me 180, I want everyone to think, well, how do I find that missing angle then? So if I know that 64 degrees and 42 degrees and x degrees all adds up to 180, how do I find that x degrees? You would add up both the other. Okay, so I would add up. So I heard this, and I think Emily was also like, oh, I know. I would add up the 2 degrees I know, so 64 and 42. So again, I highly recommend getting familiar with your calculator features. But 64 plus 42 is 106 degrees. Oops, I did not mean to put squared. Okay, and then what else? If I know, okay, the 2 add up to give me 106 degrees, what do I do then? Yeah, so then I just subtract it. So I'm just doing it the algebraic way, but to just think about it, well, 64 plus 42 is 106. To figure out what this other one is, I will subtract it from 180 to figure out the missing angle. So I'm just doing it the algebraic way. So if I subtract 106 from 180, that will give me 74 degrees. So that means my missing angle is 74 degrees. How can I? It says it where? Oh, on the other slide. Yeah. So if I did this, okay, 64 plus 42 plus 74 should add up to 180 to check my work. If they don't add up, then I know I did something wrong. Okay, talk to me. Is that confusing? No, that makes sense. So because they all add up to 180, I can add the 2 I know together and subtract it from 180 degrees. And that'll give me my missing angle. Okay. Zoom people, we good? So this is just me writing out what we did. We did 64 plus 42. We subtracted it to get 74. Okay, let's look at another example. All right, so we have 45, 65, and x degrees. I'm looking for that missing degree. So calculate it on your own. So do it on your own. Let's see if you understand. So I know that 45 plus 65 plus that x should equal 180. So do it before me. Do it before I finish. Get your answer now so you can check yourself. So I would add the two angles that I do know, 45 plus 65. Gives me 110 degrees plus x degrees equals 180 degrees. And then I would have to subtract 110 from 180 to find my missing angle. So did y'all get 70? Awesome. So my missing angle is 70 degrees. So I should get 145 plus 70 plus 65 should equal 180. I know that I've done this correct because all the inside angles should equal 180. Okay, we're feeling good about this? Okay, it's about to get a little difficult, okay? So just take a breath. Now what happens when I have something else here? What? 2x plus 25? X and 65? Say what? Okay, so I will say this. None of these triangles are drawn to scale. So like this triangle looks maybe like an equilateral triangle possibly, or a isosceles triangle. It's neither. It's a triangle that I got off of PowerPoint, so it's not drawn to scale. So if an angle is supposed to be obtuse or something, it's probably not. Just because I didn't calculate it like that. Okay. What did we say before? And this is when I would write notes on my paper. What did we say before about these three angles? What should they add up to equal? 180. So I'm going to set that up. X plus 2x plus 25 plus 65 should all equal 180. All of these added together should equal 180. You really didn't need the parentheses. I'm not really sure why I did that. But every angle should add up to equal 180. We know that. But now we have to actually solve for this. So we're going to do, I'm going to give you some terms that we use in algebra. We have to combine like terms that are alike. So for instance, x and 2x are like terms because they both have x to the power 1 attached to them. So what is 1x plus 2x? 3x, right? If I had one pizza plus two pizzas, that's 3 pizzas. So x plus 2x would combine to give me 3x. And then 25 and 65 are also like terms. They're the same type of number. So what is 25 plus 65? Plus 90 equals 180. So all we did right now is just combine the terms that are alike together. But now we have to solve. We have to solve for x. So how would I solve for x? I got to get rid of this plus 90 first. So I'm going to subtract 90 from both sides. So I hope you're seeing how stuff we did earlier in the year is going to be spiraling through the whole entire year. So if you didn't get how to solve for x before, you really need to learn it now. So I'm going to subtract 90 from both sides. I knew I need to do that because I'm trying to get everything away from the x. I got to get rid of this plus 90, do the opposite, subtract 90. That will give me 3x. This cancels out, equals 90. So 3x equals 90. What would I do from here? Divide by 3, because 3 is multiplied to x. So to get rid of it, I would divide it. And 90 divided by 3 equals 30. So x equals 30. Yay! But we're still not done. We found what x equaled, but we need to know what each angle is equal to. So this one's 65 degrees. This one says x. So how much is this one? Yeah, you can. Well, what's this angle right here? 30, because it just says x, and we know x equals 30, so this must be 30. And we could do 30 plus 65 and subtract 180, but what else could I do? If I know x equals 30, how could I use this equation right here? if it's 2x plus 25, and I know x equals 30, what would I do with this 30 here? Yes, so I'm going to plug in. So I'm going to show this with different. Hi, Mr. O'Donnell. Morning. I'm going to show this with a different color. Are you wearing face socks today? I have some a hamburger sock on and a reindeer sock on. Oh, very good. Camouflage. Camo day. What? Are you asking me? What am I asking you? Yeah. So this red ribbon week is today's crazy coffee? Yeah. Yes. I'm wearing my Venus and Milo. Beautiful. Every day. You too. So x equals 30. I'm going to plug in 30 for the x right here. So 2 times 30 plus 25. So 2 times 30 is 60 plus 25 will give me 85. So this angle here is 85 degrees. And there's my 3 angles. Okay, I definitely need feedback now, because if you don't get it, I need to hear it. Emily? Where? Oh, right here? Yeah, so if there's never a number in front of the x, that means it's a 1x. So have you when you're working on the stuff, you know if you did x and y equals x or whatever, but if you did y equals 1x or whatever it was. So anytime there's an x and there's not a number in front of it, it's a 1x. So the 1x plus 2x got us 3x. 25 plus 65 got 90. We solved for x. And then went back and plugged 30 in for x to find all of our stuff. Alara? Yeah. So 65 plus 30 is 95. 180 minus 95 is 85. So you could have done it the way that we did it over here once we found our x. So that's what you could have done as well. Okay, feeling good. Okay, we're gonna learn. Do y'all want one more example, or do y'all want to move on? One more example? Okay. How do I stop this shit? Okay, one more example. And it totally, I don't know if it's going to be a decimal or not, because I can't think that far ahead. Let's see. Let's say this is 85. Let's say this is 3x plus 5. And that this is 2x. Pretend that's a perfect triangle. I didn't mean to do this little thing over here. All right. So I know this inside angle is 3x plus 5. This one's 85, and this one's 2x. I know all 3 interior angles add up to 180 degrees. So I'm going to go ahead and add them. 2x plus 3x plus 5 plus 85 should all equal 180. So I got to combine like terms. So 2x plus 3x will give me what? 5x. And 5 plus 85 will give me what? 90. So I have 5x plus 90 equals 180. All right, so subtract 90 from both sides. That'll get me 5x equals 90. Yep, and then I divide by 5. And that will get me 18. X equals 18. So we're still not through because we found x equals 18, but we need to know what 18 will do to these 2 points right here. So if this is 2x, how do I find what the value is? So I'll do 2 times 18 because x equals 18. So 2 times 18 will give me 36. So this angle right here is 36 degrees. And then I have to find this one up here. So I plug in 18 for x because x equals 18. So 3 times 18 plus 5. So 3 times 18 plus 5 is 59. So this angle is 59 degrees. Anyone on Zoom have a question? If you do, you can type it in the chat. Okay. All right, back to the presentation. We're almost done, guys. I definitely don't like to talk more than 30 minutes. Okay. So the other theorem is called the exterior angle theorem. Now, personally, I do not care to memorize this because we should be able to figure certain things out without even having to memorize this. But let me explain what the theorem says. The exterior angle theorem says that angle A plus angle B equals angle D. What does that mean? It means if angle D, exterior means outside. So this angle D is on the outside of the triangle. It should be equal to the 2 angles that are not adjacent or not next to that angle. So if angle A was like 20 and angle B was 90, I could figure out angle D by adding angle A and angle B. So 90 plus 20 equals 110. So that means angle D is also 110. But let's kind of talk about why. Why is that true? Here's my question. What do C and D make together? If I was to draw this is well, pretend that's pretty. But what is that? C and D, what do they make together? A 180-degree angle. They're making a half circle, right? This is a 180-degree angle. Did y'all learn, I think in 6th grade, a straight line is 180 degrees, right? So angle C and angle D together make a 180-degree angle, or supplementary. I actually think maybe Miss Weekman taught this. Supplementary, if you write the word supplementary and you connect the S together, that gives an 8. So that's how you know supplementary means 180. I don't know. I don't know who taught you that, but I'm pretty sure someone did. Okay. Okay. So these 2 angles together make 180 degrees. So here's my question. Let's say you didn't know the exterior angle theorem. Let's say you had no clue what that was. Let me erase this whole thing. Oops. Let's say you did not know what the exterior angle theorem was, and you knew that this one was 20 and this one was 90. How would you figure out C? Like, forget D was even there. How would you figure out the other interior angle? Right? So we know that all of these together add up to 180. So you could do 90 plus 20 and plus that x equals 180. 90 plus 20 is 110. And if you subtract 110, you know that x equals 70. So then you know that this one's 70. Well, if you know that C and D together make a 180, how would you figure out D? If I know that these two together make 180, and I know that this is 70, how would I figure out this one? So if these two together make 180, and this C is 70, how would I figure out both of them together? Or how would I figure out D, I mean? Okay, let's say I didn't know 90 and 70. Let's just say this one was just 70. I mean, 90 and 20. Let's just say this one is 70. And these two together make 180. How would I figure out just D then? I would subtract 180 minus 70, right? Because these two together make 180. So I would subtract 70, and that would give me 110. So that's why these two together equal this one out here. So this one, so the first couple of slides were much easier. This one takes a little bit more thought process, okay? So we're gonna do, I think there's 2 examples left, and then we're gonna do the assignment for today, okay? I'm gonna help you through the assignment because I know this one is kind of more difficult, okay? So let's look at our first example. So maybe that will help. This is just telling you that A plus B equal the D. C plus D together make equal 180. All right. So the answer is already on the paper, obviously, but 20, this interior angle is 20. This interior angle is 101. What's this interior? How would I figure out this interior angle right here? Sorry, I can't hear. What do you mean subtract? Subtract what? Okay, so 101 plus 20 equals 121. And if I wanted the interior angle, so forget, like if I could just block this out, I would do 180 minus 121, which would give me 59. So this interior angle is 59. And this exterior angle, so I could do 180 minus 59 because I know these two together make 180. So 180 minus 59 is 121. So this outside angle is 121 degrees. But I could have done that faster by just adding 20 plus 101 to find the outside. But honestly, to be honest, no one's going to remember to go add these two to get the outside one. Maybe you might. But for me, I don't remember that. So I just go the long way. I find the interior angle, and then from there, if these make 180, I just subtract 180 minus whatever's inside. All right, give me some feedback. Does it kind of make sense? Okay. Yeah. To me, the long way makes more sense for my brain personally. Okay. Let's look at a harder example. Okay. I think this is the last one, okay? So, oh, what time is it? 9:41. Okay, Miss Patterson, finishing early. All right. So, this one's a little bit more difficult. Okay, you ready? Okay, according to the exterior angle theorem, these two added together should equal this one out here. So I'm gonna set that up. The two non-adjacent interior angles should add the exterior angle. So 4x plus 35 plus 20 should equal x plus 115. Because these two inside angles should equal this outside angle right here. So I'm gonna have to do some solving. Before we start solving, let's see if there's any like terms on this side. 35 and 20 would make what? 55. Am I going too fast? Okay. So 4x plus 55 equals x plus 115. Yes, basically you're about to solve like this was a linear equation. I hope you remember that you can do this on Desmos. Put this one in, see where the two lines cross, there's your answer. But of course you're gonna have to show your work, so we're gonna do it out. So VCC, first we have to get rid of a variable. I always get rid of the smaller one. So I'm gonna get rid of this 1x. I'm gonna write the 1 for your benefit. Hey, Brinley. Oh, girl, you just missed a whole bunch. So I'm gonna get rid of this 1x. So this is positive 1x. So I'm gonna subtract 1x from both sides. (4x minus 1x will give me 3x. Bring down that plus 55. And bring down, this cancels out, so bring down the 115. Next, I gotta get rid of my constants. So this plus 55, how do I get rid of it? Subtract it, so I'm gonna subtract 55 from both sides. So 3x equals, okay, so 115 minus 55 is 60, and then divide by the coefficient. So divide by 3, x equals 20. Awesome, so we found x. I'm not gonna do the last thing where we plug in x, but for us to understand, just know that for the assignment today, we find x. Okay, cool, x equals 20. Now, what do these angles equal? Okay, I gotta plug in 20 for x, so that'd be 20 plus 115. That'll give me 135. And I gotta plug in x for this one, 4 times 20 plus 35. 115, yeah. So this one's 115. Okay, that was this is kind of heavy, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Zoom people, are you sure no one on Zoom has a question?